Hello! Hello everybody. It's been a long time since I've made a video, like weeks even. Um, I've had serious problems with iMovie and recently had to take the Mac to the Apple Store and speak with a Mac genius, which is a pretty condescending term for a tech support guy, but you know, it is Apple and Mac certainly does like being special. Well, the genius was stumped. In fact, several geniuses were stumped. Eventually, they had to do a entire recall where they basically delete the operating system and reload the operating system. I get to keep all my files, but every single functioning program gets removed and put back on. It still didn't work for a while, but today it seems to want to, so I'm going to go ahead and make this video. In recent history, a lot of things have happened. Number one on that list would have to be, yeah. Oh man, the Star Trek movie. Have you seen it yet? If you haven't seen it yet, you're a bad person. Go see it. Do it. Now! See it! I will freaking shoot you! Don't worry. It was on... Oh. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to kill you. Anyway, the phaser's pretty cool too. It actually does the whole flippy thing, and yeah, that's pretty great. But seriously, the movie is freaking awesome, like Iron Man awesome. Like you walk out of it going, that was an awesome movie. Anywho, other things. School's out, yay. I have all of a week left until summer school starts. Boo, but that's okay because I finished all of my classes, all the ones I was really concerned about. Turned out okay. Ended up getting 2 B's and 3 A's. No, 1 B and 4 A's actually. 3.7 GPA for the semester. Very, very happy about that. 3.46 for the whole total scholastic career, which has been far longer than I ever intended for it to be. So I'm enjoying my summertime off. Michelle and I recently moved into a smaller bedroom because it was cooler, and she's nesting like you wouldn't believe. We are going nuts. Literally, we've been picking out curtains. Of course, I've been hanging the curtains, so whatever. Oh, a lot of cool stuff happened recently, video game wise. Finally got to play De Blob. Very fun game. Great multiplayer. The one-player experience is fun. This is definitely a family-safe game. You play a little blob, literally like a ball of water, and you run around collecting paint and painting buildings. You want to paint certain buildings certain colors, and you jump from building to building sideways, and it's just a lot of good, innocent, goofy fun. It's a very charming game in the way that Raving Rabbids is charming. It's remarkably fun. In multiplayer, you're all painting buildings simultaneously, trying to get the most points and get the most unique combinations of buildings and stuff. Surprisingly fun multiplayer. I was quite impressed with this game. Also rented Onichanbara, Zombie Bikini Slayers, or Bikini Zombie Slayers, depending on where you get it. This is a 1 to 2 player game where you play a Asian chick in a bikini killing zombies. It's the rare case where the title of the game is exactly what the game is about. There is no real platforming, there's no real RPG or story elements, it's pretty much just kill as many zombies as you can. In a lot of cool ways. I mean, you slash these mothers up something fierce. If you play enough, you eventually unlock different bikini costumes. There's multiple girls that you can unlock to oogle, all that jazz. It's a very lowbrow game, but my gosh, is it fun. Continuing in the lowbrow vein, I rented Mad World. Wow, that is a visceral game. Graphically, it's nothing special from a math standpoint. I mean, the game's entirely black and white except for the blood and certain signs in yellow. Everything else is black and white. The polygon count is remarkably low, and yet it grabs you. The black and white style, it's very much like Sin City, and the contrast is stark and powerful. You play a guy who is pretty much Spike from Cowboy Bebop, the pilot dude with the cyborg arm. Only he doesn't just have a cyborg arm. His cyborg arm has a gasoline engine and a chainsaw built into it. And you go to an island that's essentially a ripoff of Manhattan and kill as many people as you can. Of course, luckily, you don't have to be a bad guy. All the people you're murdering, the hundreds and hundreds of people you murder in vicious, vicious ways, they're all bad people. They're all there to kill people, too. So, you got people killing people who want to kill people, so you're killing all the right people. Sorry to steal the phrase, but it's entirely true. And my God, it's gratifying. I mean, when you're really mad about something and you can't do anything about it, it feels really great to take a guy and rip him in half, or or throw him up against the wall, then pick up his friend by his foot and slam him against the dude in the wall and pick him up, walk over to a spike and start smashing him against a spike over and over again. And it does it in a way that's very visceral because the timing is perfect, the way that things move and rip through space, the sound effects are perfect. Plus you got the sound coming out of the Wiimote, as well as a vibration coming out of the Wiimote, and you're literally doing this while you're doing it. So it's like, God, freaking die! I will not talk to you anymore. You know, feels good. Feels good. Certainly fulfills the promise that we used to tell our parents that playing video games lets us get our rage and violence out there, and then we don't actually do it in the real world. This game takes that to the extreme. However, the one danger is this game is exactly what our parents were afraid of us playing. It's nothing but glorifying violence. I mean, wow, does it glorify violence. It's amazing. You should rent it. You should play it. You should definitely glorify violence. It's a beautiful thing when you glorify violence in that way. That's all I really planned on talking about here. Still haven't seen the Wolverine movie. We're not having very good luck going to that one. I've heard very mixed reviews, though. Please feel free to tell me what you thought of that guy. If you haven't seen Star Trek, you must see it. If you've only seen it once, it's probably a good idea to go see it again. Bring somebody who hasn't seen it, because going to see it with someone for the first time is a wonderful, wonderful thing. I got to see it opening weekend. We got to see it at the very first showing on the biggest screen in Phoenix. A lot of quotation marks on that one, because my friend Brian, huge, huge Star Trek fan, much bigger than me, he figured out where everything was going on, and he said, hey, let's all go do this opening weekend thing. But he'd never gone to an opening weekend movie. So he thought he could get there about an hour beforehand and have seats. Yeah. Anyway, I informed him that not only is this an opening weekend, but it's an opening weekend on a geek movie, and it's an opening weekend, and it's an opening for a franchise that hasn't had a new movie in years, and it's a reboot of said franchise, and is the penultimate of all geeky franchises, Star Trek. So I'm like, dude, we really got to get there early. So we got there about 4 or 5 hours early, played some Star Trek trivia games and such with people. It was a blast. Of course, they really kind of gypped us out of the whole experience because there weren't that many other people in costume. Because we went to the opening at the Cine Caprice screen in Tempe. Well, there was also an opening an hour earlier on a regular screen, and then there was a midnight opening on the Cine Caprice screen. So all the freaks were split up among 3 different screens at that theater. So we didn't have quite the huge amount of freaks that I wanted. I mean, there was still well over 50, 60 people in line before they opened the doors. But nonetheless, it could have been better. It was still great, though. And we actually got interviewed for Zulu TV. I haven't seen that interview yet. Anyway, we were chilling out with our cardboard Spock, and they wanted to talk to us. Brian's responsible for that. He's a wonderfully insane man. I love his ideas, and he actually is dedicated to these things. I got mentioned in the Phoenix New Times by Pat Shanahan. He interviewed me when I was standing in line. It was a blast. Anyway, enough rambling about Star Trek. Go see Star Trek. Do it. What's wrong with you? Go see Star Trek. Other than that, I'm going to finish cleaning up a couple of things around the house before my honey gets home, and you guys have a wonderful day.